The Influence of Hookup Culture on Female HBCU Students by Raven Campbell and Kalisa Lewinson. The act of casual sex encounters, otherwise known as a hookup culture, becomes normalized within college settings. As female students on the HBCU, we have first-handedly witnessed the implications of hookup culture on Howard University campus. In addition, though there is a plethora of peer-reviewed articles on non-committed sexual encounters of college students, there is a lack thereof of this information in relation to specifically Black college students. Not many people have delved into the sexual practice of young adults, let alone the Black women of HBCUs. There are factors of gender biases and prejudice that make casual sex a dangerous act for Black people, and thus the Black women reap the disadvantages.
Hookups, defined as brief, uncommitted sexual encounters between individuals who are not romantic partners or dating each other, have emerged from more general social shifts taking place during the last century. Hookups began to become more frequent in the 1920s, otherwise known as the Roaring Twenties, for its exuberant, freewheeling popular culture. Instead of courting at home under parents' watchful eye, young adults left the home and were able to explore their sexuality more freely. The rules for a stereotypical hookup are simple. No feelings, don't get attached, don't be jealous when they sleep with someone else, don't be awkward or insecure about sex, don't act like you're all into them or want to see them all the time. Don't get upset if they don't text again. Again, if you have feelings, you must try to manipulate them. Many worry that society is crumbling because of this new culture. Hookup apps like Tinder, Blender, Grindr, etc. have gained a following. Some with adverse feelings in regards to hookup apps seem to feel that sexual activity without emotional connection and long-term commitments, such as marriage, is an e-ticket to internal damnation, depression, and low self-esteem. Influencing this shift in sexuality is popular culture. The media has become a source of sex education filled with often inaccurate portrayals of sexuality. The themes of books, plots, and movies, and television shows, and lyrics of numerous songs demonstrate a permissive sexuality among consumers. The media suggests that an uncommitted sex or hookups can be both physically and emotionally enjoyable and occur without strings. In 2014, a study published in the Journal of Sex Research looked at single heterosexual college students at age 18 to 25. The research found that a greater proportion of men, 18.6%, than women, 7.4%, said that they had casual sex in the past month. Prior to this research, it was generally assumed that the psychological well-being of women was more likely to be negatively impacted by casual sex than that of men. There are different factors to hookup culture that make the experience less physically or emotionally enjoyable for some. More specifically, there are major differences in the casual sex experience for people of different race and people of different gender. Media's skewed perception of Black women has enforced stereotypes. These stereotypes include Jezebel, Mammy, and Superwoman.
Those who endorse Jezebel attitudes may possibly assert themselves sexually, but could easily compromise sexual safety if the relationship is deemed as close. Those who endorse Superwoman, much like Mammy, may put other people's needs before their own. Although the characterized as strong, dependable, and successful, she is not empowered to value her needs above others. Underlying factors like these leads to risky sexual behavior in Black women, which makes hookup culture more dangerous than its carefree reputation makes it out to be. STI prevention issues for women of color is multifactor and far-reaching. Several things emerge from the literature, including the examination of gender roles, gender stereotypes, social conditions, and cultural expectations that serve to inform sexual decision making. A sexual double standard exists when men are evaluated more positively or less negatively than women who have similar sexual histories. However, both men and women have experienced some sexual regret, but women were more negatively impacted by some hookup experiences, primarily because of potential consequences, social shaming, feeling used, abused, pregnancy, etc., which seem to be much higher. Women define casual sex differently than men, primarily because they need primarily because they are more likely to seek and feel an emotional connection in addition to physical experience, which can be dangerous. But for Black women, they suffer in inordinate amount, yielding one of the dominant health disparities in the United States. In 2006, the rate of chlamydia among African American females in the U.S. was more than 7 times higher than the rate among white females. Hookups are leading to diseases for Black women at a disproportionate rate. Currently, African American women are one of the fastest growing segments of the U.S. population diagnosed with HIV and AIDS. Related illness is the leading cause of death for Black women ages 25 to 44 years.
Research question, we asked whether or not the current culture of casual sex has negative implications for Black women of historically Black universities.
And our hypothesis was hookup culture has negative effects on Black women at historically Black institutions.
For our research design, we will be doing a panel study / perspective study. A panel study is a longitudinal study where data are collected from the same individuals at successive time points. In this type of study, the participants tend to vary in age. They're a relatively quick method of providing a representative sample for research. Specific groups of people can be targeted for particular pieces of research, and the research can be this can be used as a mixed method of research.
Okay, for the methods section, the participants is a sample of 14 Black men and women selected from the population of Howard University undergrad students, varying from age 18 to 25, two opposite gendered students per age. We will recruit our participants by posting flyers around campus and sending out emails to Howard University community newsletter. Panels of male and women who would be separate to receive the perspectives of both genders.
For our measures, we would conduct individual interviews at the laboratory location, followed by a survey of open-ended questions. There will be 15 items, which would consist of what do you look for in a potential partner? How do you feel about the current climate of hookup culture? What are common feelings you feel after hookup? Is there any regret after hookup? If so, why? There will be a survey at the beginning and end of each panel that consists of 15 items um, in Likert format.
In the procedure section, after signing up for the research via email, participants will be notified about the criteria for which they need to meet in order to participate in the research. This will also help us choose which participants are best fit for each group and gender. Upon arrival to the research laboratory, participants will be informed that they will be participating in a panel of students of the same race and gender as them, but varying in age. They will then individually be interviewed. The interview will consist of 15 open ended items and will be collected as data. They will fill out a survey of 15 Likert format items. Because a disadvantage of panel research is the conforming of panelists to other panelists' ideas, we will repeat the previous testing on the participants with the same questions upon exit.
Data collected from surveys before and after the panels will be coded and categorized using the statistical package for the social sciences program, otherwise known as SPSS, to examine one's view on hookup culture.
Thank you.